We are back. I'm still in Las Vegas here. I got like a couple more days left, and we got a good one today, folks. We are walking. Oh wait, this is close to the season. Oh no, I'm here with Gabe Rutledge. You know him from his 5 comedy albums. I don't know how you can have 5 hours of comedy. That's crazy.
I don't remember it all.
Well, you have, and his book is called Happiness Isn't Funny: Stories from the Road, available now on Amazon. Gabriel, I feel like I can call you Gabe at this point, right?
Of course, please.
Because when you introduced yourself, you said Gabriel, so I was like, oh, he likes Gabriel. It was nice.
You know, first time my name is Gabriel.
That is your name. That is your name.
That's one of the reasons I tell people to call me that.
Oh, okay.
But the first time I've always been Gabe, and then the first time I ever performed comedy, my first open mic.
Yeah.
I wrote down Gabriel on the list. I have no idea why.
Uh-huh.
And then it just, all of a sudden I have that as my official name.
Do you think that there was a reason why you wrote down Gabriel?
I think it was like, I was like coming out of punk rock bands.
Oh yeah?
And stuff.
You played music?
Yes, absolutely. So I think that Gabriel was like, yeah, this is me, but like a new version of me.
Ah,
You know
okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you were like Gabe the rock star, right?
Well,
Like-
Gabe In A Band.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
about rockstar.
Well,
I
living your best.
delivered Mexican food at the time.
Oh, this is separate from being in the band.
Yeah,
Or is it related?
Well, I mean, that just lets you know how successful the band
Oh,
was.
I see.
You know what I mean? It was like,
I forgot. You need a side hustle. It's kind of cool. It's kind of more punk rock that way, right?
yeah, I think I probably made minus $10,000 in the band in the course of my career.
So you were in Seattle. So was this like a grunge band? Like what kind of music?
Kind of. I live in Olympia, Washington, and
Okay.
so I graduated in like 1992, which was like a very
Are we talking high school?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing
right.
I graduated from.
Same here. All right.
Yeah, buddy.
Did you go to college a little bit?
I dropped out of community college.
Oh, so you can write some college.
Some college.
I'm a some college guy too. So is my wife. It's lovely. I love to meet more some colleges.
And it's full of hope. We could go back.
We could.
We've already done some.
We've done some college. I love that. Okay. All right. Sorry. Go on.
So yeah, that was like a big, in Olympia, like Nirvana lived in Olympia the year before they were huge.
Did you ever see them?
Yeah, but see, I wasn't cool fast enough. I was still like going to youth group and stuff at my church.
Oh.
When I could have seen him in like a dorm room, if I would have been aware like
Yeah.
a year earlier, and instead I saw him in like an arena.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a couple years later.
That's still you got to see them.
It was funny too because everyone in Olympia who was like older than us in the music scene and like the punk rock scene,
Uh-huh.
like it was like Bikini Kill and things
Yeah.
people have heard of, Slater Kinney, and everyone knew like Kurt or Nirvana like as a friend,
Oh wow.
and so
so
everyone
cool.
everyone had to pretend that they were kind of like pretending it wasn't amazing that he was like in the biggest band in the world.
That's so funny.
And so we were like
So
the new
stupid.
kids. So stupid.
So
We
stupid.
were like the new kids on the scene, and so we kind of borrowed that. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. We like the first album better. We didn't fucking know. But
Well, that's the thing. No one really knows how big the band is going to be at the time, right? Until maybe Nirvana, there were some clues, but but for the most part, you never truly really know.
no, and then even it's one of those things where everyone's like, "Who's next?" And then
Yeah.
eventually it's like, "No one."
What was the name of your band?
Nirvana 2. We thought that.
No, it wasn't.
that
No, it was not. Nirvana adjacent.
My first band was called Mushmouth, which was the Bill Cosby character from the cartoon.
I don't actually.
When we were like 19, we almost got mushmouth tattoos. That would have not aged well at all.
No. So it was a character from his cartoon show.
Yeah, the Fat Albert.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I was in
only
a
seen
band
few-
called Bunnyfoot Charm for a long time, which is like a very fluffy name for a very angry, loud band.
That's so awesome. I love that. That's so cool. So then when did you get into the comedy? If you were in band delivering Mexican music, Mexican food while you were playing music.
I was 20, close to 27, but 26 when I did my first open mic.
Wow. Do you remember like one of the first jokes you ever wrote?
I don't remember the exact wording. I remember the
I
remember the premise, and I remember, yes, please get that up high for my best angle. No, you're good.
This is so wild, so I should just tell people because they're like, where are you walking?
I don't know where we are.
I usually say that. Okay, so we are in Las Vegas at the Rio Hotel. We have ventured out from the casino into the convention center, and there is not many people around. And but this is cool. We can just get our walk in. We have privacy. We could film like some pretty cool content in here though too. No one's around.
No.
I mean, not like the pocket. I mean, like we could do some cool viral videos. Like.
And also, this hotel's like halfway through a transition.
Yeah.
So we all have a friend halfway through. Never mind.
That's edgy. That's edgy for you, Gabe.
So it is kind of a weird. It's like it's kind of half closed, half reopening.
That is true. That is true. It's fun. Okay, so your first joke. What was like the premise?
So the first premise.
I'll tell you mine then.
Okay, I would love to hear that. I think, and by the way, I delivered all of this as if I was reading a humorous essay. Do you know, sort of like I wrote a funny column, and I will know.
So you read it to the audience?
No, but that's what it sounded like.
I got it.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the premise was on the news. When they go from the news to the weather,
I love this already.
The weatherman they always throw it to him with a little joke or her or whoever it is, and so sometimes the news story is horrific.
Yes.
And then they have to go into the lighthearted weather, and so it was something. It was like a story.
This is
it was
so
a story
good.
about like a pedophile. Oh, God. And then the weather guy said something like, "Well, we've got some weather that'll make you roll down the window in your van because we, just like trying to make that stupid transition. Pretty edgy for a first time."
That is edgy. Okay, we got to turn around. We got. That's a funny joke. I mean, just the premise of like throwing to the weather guy or even like the sports guy.
Yeah, same thing.
After a dramatic story about loss of life or a child molested.
It is kind of you still see that where they're just like, and there were no survivors. Heck of a game, Chuck. Did you know what I mean? Like
the Heat was down 15, turned it around in the fourth. Yeah.
All right, what was your first joke though?
So this was before I knew about victims and jokes and how you don't want to like punch down.
Sure.
But I was like, man, I live in New York City. I always see a lot of homeless people with shopping carts. I'm like, man, homeless people, they're always shopping. And then I was like, tagged it with like, maybe they would have money for a house if they would just stop shopping.
How did it go?
Not good.
Yeah.
Not great.
Mine didn't go great either.
Well, here's, look at that. Hear that echo.
Whoa.
Woo! Woo! Do you ever like Ric Flair? Woo!
Absolutely. This is like
woo! Hello!
Voice of God.
Boy.
Stop making fun of homeless people.
Unhoused, Gabe.
You're right.
Unhoused.
That fixed it.
Domestically challenged. People are trying to reinvent words to make the situation sound less awful.
I know. Well, it's funny. My brother, I have a Down syndrome brother, and in my lifetime, he has been, he's been mentally retarded. He's been developmentally delayed. He's been mentally handicapped.
Okay.
I think my kids would now say he's neurodivergent.
Right.
But you just keep
special.
Yeah, I'm skipping like 10 of them, but you just like, it's this weird thing of like, it just keeps going,
Yeah.
And he hasn't, you want to hear? Okay.
Yeah,
here's a joke.
I want to hear.
I'm not a very edgy comedian. This is maybe my edgiest joke.
Okay.
Feel free to edit it out.
Nope, I don't. I don't edit. I do not edit.
I feel like I'm allowed to. This is from like a decade ago.
Dude,
okay.
Just say the joke.
Why am I so nervous?
You're not gonna get canceled on this podcast. Don't worry. We're all friends here.
I feel like I'm allowed to say the word retarded.
I say it
because my brother has Down syndrome.
And that's the reason why I say it. I say it because your brother has Down syndrome too.
And I asked my brother, and he said it's cool.
Okay.
He also said I could say the N-word, but he is retarded. That was my edgy joke from a decade ago. TikTok took that one down immediately.
That's so funny. Will you do it tonight?
No.
Please? I'll clip it in. Just open with it. You should open with it.
I'll send you video.
Okay, that's so funny. I think that's great. Do you want to try to go outside? Do you have
do it.
sunscreen on?
No, but I should be all right.
Okay. I'm crazy about sunscreen. I love it. I just put it on all over my face.
Before bed.
Wait, I don't know.
I don't know if we'll get. Where
See,
are we?
I don't know.
Oh, we can go around.
We can?
Yeah.
There's a fence, though. All right, we'll try it. We'll try it.
Yeah, we're over by the Penn and Teller Theater part, I think.
Yeah. Oh, so your book, Happiness.
Happiness Isn't Funny.
Happiness Isn't Funny. Stories from the Road. Is available on Amazon. I love reading books like this, so I'm definitely going to be purchasing this book. But because I love hearing people's road stories, and I think there's like times have changed, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a lot more, comedy's more tame than it used to be, and I think part of that is like everyone has a phone and social media, right? Like, do you think that's probably part of it?
Yeah, for sure.
But do you have any stories from the road that are maybe in your book or not in your book that you want to share with the group?
Well, I mean, the idea
favorites?
the idea of the book was usually you write the book about the paying your dues portion of your career, like after you've had some great success.
You're like this is like me paying my dues.
Well, it's like, oh, this is what
Like
this
what
was
happened.
the struggles of my early career,
Right,
but then
yeah.
I went on to be Kevin Hart or
Yeah,
something. you know?
exactly. Yeah.
And this was like, okay, I'm gonna keep a journal of this year,
Okay.
and I don't know where this is going.
I don't know where we're going, by the
No,
way.
we are off the grid.
All right. Talkie Walkie. Sorry. We'll make it interesting. It's fine. We're getting our steps in.
And so yeah, that was the idea. Like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know if this is as good as it gets. If it is that okay?
Yeah. That's a fair question to ask.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I guess I wrote it, and it came out in like 2014, but I wrote it mostly in 2010. That lets you know about me. I started a year-long journal in February 28th. That's when I started a year-long journal.
That's hilarious.
But
the last day of the shortest month of the
yeah,
year.
exactly. It's time. It's time. But yeah, so it is. When people read it, in fact, I sign it sometimes. I'm doing much better now.
That's great.
But yeah, it is. It's like, I still do crazy shows sometimes, but it's like I used to, like, you just do whatever. I've done a nursing home.
You did?
Yeah, I've
That's
done.
awesome. I don't know if you've heard my nursing home joke about doing shows in nursing homes.
Have you done them?
Yeah.
It's wild.
They're hard to get into. It's a competitive.
I'll give you an email. Someone's gonna hook you up. No.
When I was doing my juggling show, I was trying so hard to get into nursing homes because you can just do like the same show every 7 months, you know? that's like kind of my joke, but it was competitive. I got this market, man. I'm like, all right. I wanted to perform anywhere I could.
Yeah, I wish when I was performing, boy, did I wish I could juggle. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
I was like, also a guy. It was kind of funny because sometimes a show's bad and it feels bad, and sometimes it's so bad it's funny while it's happening.
Oh, I love that. I love a good bomb.
And that's what the convalescent home was.
When the stakes are low, it's easy. It's fun.
Yeah, but there was a guy in the front
Yeah?
in a Little Rascal scooter.
Oh my God. Okay.
And so first of all, he wanted to leave, and that is hilarious because he has nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. But I think if they're in a nursing home, their tendency is to just like get out of the situation.
Yeah.
Like, because I know, like, when I put my aunt in like a nursing home, she was like trying to pack up and leave like first couple weeks.
He had to do like a 98-point turn in front of me in his scooter, and no one's laughing, so it's loud. It's like
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Oh my God, that's very humbling, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about killing the vibe. Does the book have a happy ending?
It doesn't really have. It's
I mean, it's like a book of essays about you on the road, right?
Yeah, basically. So it really doesn't. It doesn't have. I even say that in the book. It doesn't have like a satisfying story arc.
Yeah.
And then I It had been 10 years, so I wrote another one in 2020.
You did?
It's not out yet.
Oh.
It's almost done.
Do you work on it during the day while you're like on the road?
A lot. Not right now. I'm just waiting for it to come back.
Oh, okay.
But that was like, so 2020. I'm like, okay, I'm certainly not like wildly successful, but I'm more successful than I was in 2010.
Sure.
I don't know. It's not going to be like this peek behind the curtain anymore.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it's going to be. And then, March, COVID happened in 2020.
Right.
So the book is weird as fuck.
Did you do
It's just me panicking.
Yeah. Did you do any weird COVID gigs?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of Zoom.
Yeah.
A lot of Zoom, which is like, worst part about comedy on Zoom is that when it goes like Mark Johnson has left the room.
Yes.
It tells you
Their name.
Yeah, you can't. It's not like you slip out of the back of the room and no one notices.
You write their names down on the kill list.
Yeah, exactly. I will be emailing you later, Mark Johnson. And then I didn't even really mean to, but I did some like flat out illegal comedy shows.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just like rural bars that are like,
COVID here, baby.
like, oh yeah, we're doing all the stuff. They were doing none of the stuff.
Yeah,
and it was like, oh.
Like I'm a liberal guy, and
Yeah.
I got vaccinated, and I'm not telling anyone what to do or
Sure.
anything. But and I did try to play by the rules, but there were a few times I'm like, well, I got to perform.
Yeah.
So I would do like shows that probably weren't the smartest things to do,
No.
But look, like but they were like not illegal shows, but I did some shows in Wisconsin in like July of 2020, like at a club that said they were social distance, but
Yeah.
not so much.
Well, it was also a very strange time because it was like, I kind of wasn't telling people when I was performing because there was a lot of judgment.
There's so much judgment.
You know, you're killing my grandma and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was definitely a weird, but I bet this isn't a political statement. I don't think I performed for a liberal person in person for like 18 months.
Yeah.
And when they came back, and I'm liberal,
Yeah.
when they came back, I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I agree. Conservative audiences are better. I'm sorry to say that. Through my experience, though, I'm a liberal guy, but liberal audiences tighten up, and you have to trust the comedians that we're not going in a bad place.
Yeah,
Most of
yeah.
us, just trust us. We're on your side.
And
For the most part.
From now we're talking. From March 2020 to like April 2021, I never heard this sound. Oh.
Yeah.
And then when they came back, I'm like, maybe I vote like you, but you're bumming me out.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, totally. So you were talking about like, you're now that it's 2020, 10 years after the last book, or close to, you're in a different place in your career. Oh, here we are. Look at this, right outside the world famous Comedy Cellar here at the Rio.
I wonder who's here tonight.
It's us. We're still,
Is it Dave Chappelle?
And he might drop in. I wonder if he's ever done a drop in at the Vegas room. But look at how cool this is. They got the iconic light. Just is the exact same sign. Can they see it? I don't know how I'm. Hold on. I gotta like flip the camera. I'm so bad at this. There it is. It was probably in the shot the whole time. But the world famous Comedy Cellar sign that you can't even see because the lights are so bright. Okay, my question to you was though, what do you think moves the needle now as comedians in 2023?
Oh, well, I guess it's just online. It's online stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like, but I also, I'm not saying this like a wise old person, but I will be 50 in like 6 weeks or something.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday. Early birthday.
Thank you. I've been doing it.
Is your birthday in December?
December 26th.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it's more than 6 weeks, but anyway.
That's cool.
It's, there's a, like, there's a, if you're funny enough, you'll keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is that weird thing of like, it's like, there's no, if I could get a late night TV appearance, and then that's all kind of gone.
It is almost kind of
Not
gone.
that I wouldn't love to do it, but it's still, it's just like, it's all about followers and, there was a magical time in comedy where you just kind of worried about getting funny, and that is sadly gone.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be my own production company.
I know.
It's wild. You know, I spend so much time, and I'm sure you do too, editing clips and a podcast, writing a book. And I'd rather write my jokes and just go perform my jokes and have the other stuff just happen, but that's just not the way it is
No,
anymore.
it's just part of it.
It's part of it.
But
5 albums, though. You have 5 comedy albums. That's incredible.
Yeah, but it's also like I kind of feel bad for
What are you waiting for?
Jesus Christ. The
Look at this guy. This guy takes himself way too seriously. Michael Goddard Art Gallery.
he looks like Chris Angel.
I think
though.
this is
that
the guy.
Chris Angel?
Yeah, he looks just like Chris Angel. We don't need another Chris Angel in the world. But this guy, he paints like all those like martini glasses with like olives jumping out of them. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's really
okay.
like this stuff. That's just like pretty.
Can
not, yeah,
we're walking around the Rio right now.
yeah,
Soon to be the all-new Rio.
yes.
But they, in the gift shop here, that's the only place I've seen anyone sell this. Because you know all the Vegas slogans, like what happens here stays here.
yeah, yep,
Sin City.
yeah.
The Rio's the only place I saw sell a shirt that said Las Vegas, fuck around and find out.
That's funny.
And I was just like, wait, are you threatening me?
Yeah.
Like what?
That's a good Vegas shirt. I like that a lot. Fuck around, find out. Do you work clean?
I can.
Okay, because I know you did a dry bar special.
Yeah.
And those are clean, but you're not. You wouldn't consider yourself a clean comic?
No, I don't really want to be known as a clean comic.
No, yeah, I think unless you're. I mean, I know you do also a lot of corporate gigs.
Yeah, I take some pride in being able to do it,
Same with me.
but I still don't. You
I'm
know,
a chameleon. I can adapt.
I was raised very religiously, and so it's. I think a lot of the reason I wanted to do this is I wanted to like talk about naughty stuff on stage.
Yeah.
To make up for my repressed childhood, you know what I mean? So I don't want to be. All respect to the clean comedians. It's just not. It's not a thing that I want to be pigeonholed as.
Yeah, that makes sense. We are so dark right now. No one can see us in the in the video. We're almost in the light. There we go. So, did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have 2 brothers.
2 brothers. Are you in the youngest or the oldest? The middle?
Middle.
I'm in the middle too. I have 2 brothers. That's so cool.
I think isn't that maybe kind of.
Why we're doing comedy?
There's a lot of middle child like trying to get the attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the forgotten
Yeah.
sibling a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Mom and Dad, what's up with that? All right, maybe we should go down because we're by Chippendales now. Have you been to Wetzel's Pretzels? It's really good.
I mean, in my life, absolutely I have,
yeah.
but not the one here.
Oh yeah, I've been to the one here. It's pretty good. Pretty
Do you want to renew our comedy vows at the Kiss Rock and Roll Wedding Chapel?
Oh my God, is this open?
I don't think so.
Look at it. You can like look into it. I had no idea this was even here. Wow, that's pretty cool actually.
I never see any. I don't know if it. I never see anyone in there, but
No.
it's always there.
But it does look pretty fun. So your childhood, do you think part of the reason, like I know you told me a little bit in the green room about like your childhood being, you grew up in the woods?
Till I lived in like South Bend, Washington, which is like a tiny little logger town until I was like 11. But the first few years of my life, I lived in Bay Center, Washington, like way off the grid, like no electricity. I don't know about plumbing. I don't know about, my parents were like they moved to that area to be in a hippie commune. And then it was like,
That's wild.
yeah, it's all, but it's kind of before my memories. But
Oh, okay.
my middle name is Antelope, by the way.
That's true. He did show me
Which
his
is-
ID.
which is
That is legit.
I don't even know if my parents are thrilled that they have that reminder of that time of their life.
Oh, I'm sure. That's so funny. Does your brothers have interesting middle names?
Okay, so my older brother, I don't think he got a birth certificate till he was 4.
Wow.
Because, my dad delivered us out in the woods. And
No doctors, no epidurals.
Nothing.
Wow.
No circumcision, thank God.
How did they did he know how to deliver a baby?
I literally think he went to the library and got a couple books.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Have you ever asked him about it?
Yeah, not in a while.
Okay.
But
you turned out okay.
I seem all right. So my brother, when he was 4, they were like, oh, we're getting you on the grid, we're making you official.
Yeah.
And they let him pick his own middle name because they had never given him one.
Wow, that's cool.
And just,
And he was 4?
Yeah, and
Okay,
this
that's-
lets you know why he ended up getting a computer science degree, because he picked Daniel.
This is his middle name.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's nice, but at 4, like, I would have been Batman for
100%.
sure.
100%.
But he's like
4.
Daniel.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's
That's-
he got a normal one, and then so did my younger brother, got a normal one too.
Okay. All right. Well, that's very nice. That's cool. Do you think, like doing comedy on the West Coast, you see a big difference when you see East Coast comics? Because I've heard West Coast comics tend to be a little bit more theatrical in their presentation, from what I've heard from West Coast comics. And East Coast comics typically just like kind of stand there. But more West Coast comics, maybe they're more like LA based, more actory.
I
so
think
they're just
so.
more like, I'm an actor too, so I'm just gonna,
There's definitely some exceptions
Yeah, oh yeah.
to that.
Of course.
But I would say New York, East Coast in general is more like joke heavy,
Okay.
and also a little more aggressive. There's not
Yeah.
that many New York comics who like say things like, so anyway.
What else? What else?
Like, you have to be aggressive, I think.
Uh-huh.
And then, where I'm from in the Northwest is sort of it's neither of those things, but
Uh-huh.
it's like, like a lot of places, like there's a big city and then everything around it is rural.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of the gigs are like, kind of redneck bars and stuff. And
Yeah.
that definitely helps decide what kind of comedy you're gonna do, because you're just like, oh, I have to do something that,
Yeah.
I can't just do Seattle things.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, okay. And you've been doing comedy for how long?
23 years.
Wow. Do you have, what advice would you give to guys like me who are only like a few years into like the comedy game, like strictly doing stand up? Hey, let's walk over here by the Penn and
Okay.
Teller thing. Or do you have because always curious to know people who have been doing it for a while and making a living at it. Like, what advice do you give the young guys coming up?
Well, most of the advice I would give isn't really about comedy. I mean, a lot of the things are like, the things we talk about in the green room are like social media things. Like,
Yeah.
wait, what are you doing? How long
Right.
are the videos supposed to be?
Right.
So there's like that aspect.
Uh-huh.
But I would say like bigger things. I would say things like, be flexible in your definition of success.
Ah, okay.
Not that you shouldn't be striving,
Yeah.
but it's like, we're not all going to be in the top percent of, the 10 people you could name as the biggest
Right.
comedians in the country or the world.
Totally.
And it's like, that's okay. If
Yeah.
you're a professional comedian, you're already in the like 1 percentile,
Yeah.
if not higher.
Very true. Very true.
And even if you're not a professional comedian,
Yeah.
it's like everyone thinks the level above them is where it gets good. And
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that like I've been at that many levels, but I just know like from the beginning to whenever, like
Uh-huh.
the best feeling in comedy is a new joke that works.
Oh, it's so good.
The worst feeling is an old one that doesn't.
Oh, that's true. That's funny.
And that's true from open mic to a stadium.
God, that is so true. That is so true.
It doesn't really feel better ever, so you
Yeah.
better like how it feels now.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
Do you ever write from stage, or do you like do pen and paper in your room?
I don't do that much pen and paper. I do a little bit.
Really? That's surprising because you're such like every word you say seems so calculated and like.
Well, eventually they are.
Yeah.
I definitely, just listen to the audio. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? That kind of thing.
Do you
But
listen to every setback?
No.
Okay.
But I listen to the new part.
Yeah.
In general, I write. Don't get me wrong, from writing books,
Yeah.
there's definitely like, oh, that's where I got all these bits. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? But
Yeah.
they're not, it's not always, sometimes the performing instincts are a little better than the writing instincts. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you mean by that like sometimes you can perform a joke better than you can just writing it down? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, or like, just on stage, like, well, how am I going to get into this joke?
Oh, yeah.
You're thinking about it off stage, and you're like, I don't know. And then on stage, you're just like, something pops in your head, and you
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
I don't know if it's the adrenaline or the panic or
Yeah.
whatever it is, where you're just like, oh, that worked.
Panic. The hardest part is when I'm panicking on stage, and it happens nightly, how to like mask it and just like take a breath. Because I don't want to show the audience that I'm panicking or like I'm.
But you don't.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
I try not to, but I'm just because confidence is key. Before you don't want to show them any signs of weakness. If a joke doesn't work, sometimes I get deflated. I'm just like, oh my god, well how am I going to keep an energy up now when they're in their heads thinking, oh that joke didn't work, but he's still looking like he's having a good time up there. Interesting.
The best part about being in a band was like, if it didn't go well, it didn't hurt that bad, because it would be like, they don't like our style.
Yeah.
This isn't the right room for us. We're opening for a shitty band.
Yeah.
And like in comedy, all of the rejection is so personal.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
like, we don't like you.
Yes.
We don't like what you're about.
It would be different, especially if you were in a cover band, because you'd be like, oh, well, it's not us. They just didn't like the songs that these other people wrote. There's just not good music out there.
Yeah. And when we get in trouble in comedy, we can't bust into everybody's working for the weekend.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly. You can't just start juggling. Yeah.
Well, you could.
Oh, you could, but that need to be considered a hack, I think. You've had some success with viral videos, although you had one viral video that wasn't yours that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that? Because that's just a crazy, out of someone taking comedy out of context and then saying, okay, do you want to explain what happened?
Okay, so I had a video go viral that
Like crazy viral.
like 30 million plus views at this point.
That's insane. Wow.
I was basically saying I'm the assistant manager of my family. My wife's the manager. The reason I get to be assistant manager is I'm sleeping with the manager. Just
Yeah,
cute
funny.
little
That's
jokes about how my wife's a more detail-oriented parent than I am.
Yeah.
And
Really funny
it
joke.
got picked up by like some sort of blogger internet person who talks about weaponized incompetence a lot, which apparently means like husbands being shitty about household duties, sort of on purpose, so their women have to do it, or
Which wasn't the joke.
No, it wasn't the joke at all. But that she's like very popular, this person, and so it was like the green screen with me in the background. She's talking about what a piece of shit I am. So at first I was like really kind of devastated about it, because it's, if you're a comedian and you put stuff out, you're used to you're fat, you're stupid, you suck. But I wasn't used to like, this is an example of being a bad father.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Big fuck. That's not good.
But then, like I showed my kids, they thought they're like, doesn't she know you're joking?
Right.
It was just, I'm sort of tougher now. But it was like a weird, it's a weird thing to be used as an example of.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either, but it's all, it's, I'm sure weaponized incompetence is a thing worthy of talking about.
Yes.
But once it's like someone's brand and they're just looking for example, I could use this for what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
Did you get any, we could probably turn back now. I feel like we're back to where we just were screaming. Did you get any followers from it at least?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I did.
Well, that's
I did. I did. And
there are probably people following you for the wrong reasons now, thinking you're like a misogynist comic or something.
Well, it's funny because even in the comments, because some people came from her thing to comment, and then there's the comments. I guess that helps though, right? If people are arguing in the comments, it
Definitely helps.
It helps, but there's like, there's women saying I'm a piece of shit, and then there's dudes calling me a cuck, and I'm just like, I'm all of those things.
Not wrong, but it's not. People need to understand. Like, we're just trying to make you laugh. That's it. That's all we're doing. We're trying to take you out of your shitty life, and I mean, not like your life is shitty. I mean, you don't have a shitty life, but other people do, and you're just trying to take you out of your life, whatever's going on, make you laugh, and people just.
And
that's why we can't have nice things.
Any stand-up comedy bit that's controversial and people are arguing, just know that in the room, live, no one ever gave a shit.
That's right.
No one ever.
Well, unless you're Michael Richards, but.
Well, that one hit pretty hard live.
Insert clip here. Yeah. No, I'm not.
No, of course. But it is, yeah, it's like, how could you say that? And you're like, well, everyone laughs in the room. Everyone, But
It's also, it's taking those clips, from a full 45-minute set or something. You're taking a 30-second clip. You're missing the context before and after. It's even if there are laughs, you're missing the thing. It's not,
as if I'm presenting a documentary about parenthood.
right.
Or
Right.
whatever the joke is that people are mad about for anyone.
No, did you ever write a bit about what you just told me?
No. Now, I thought of doing my own response video, and then I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I just want to leave it. I don't want to, argue about the arguing,
Yeah, that's because you can't win that, especially if she has a mega following. It's just like, whatever.
And it still overall was good for me.
Oh, well, then that's good. Yeah.
And that's how fucked up internet stuff is where you're like, oh, this feels bad, this feels terrible, and then 6 months later you're like, I hope it happens again.
Yeah, kind of. You're always kind of like, whenever you have a viral hit, or you're always just craving that next viral video.
Yeah, I wish I could really upset people again. That worked out well.
Well, just get them talking in the comments about something. I have some new jokes about my wife being vegan, and I think that's like a triggering topic for a lot of people. And I'm not vegan, but I get it. I support the cause. I'm a vegetarian, but I love cheese and dairy. Even me saying that now, people in the comments are going to be like, "But that you're taking cow's milk from the baby," but I don't like that.
No.
But I try to do oat milk, almond milk when I can, but pizza, cheese, come on.
That's a lot. That's a lot to give up.
I know, it's so much.
And also,
Vegan cheese isn't great yet.
Do you know what's doing the right thing isn't funny.
You're right. You're right.
This situation presented itself and I did exactly the right thing. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming out.
You're so right. I'm so happy you said that. If I didn't get on the no-fly list for making that TikTok video, there would be no joke there.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Which is so wild. So wild.
Yeah,
I felt bad because an internet lady was yelling at me. You were on the fucking news, bro.
Oh yeah, it ruined my life for a good. There was a time where you would put my name into Google, then airplane steak would pop up.
Oh man.
I've worked so hard to just be a fun, silly guy, and here it is, just like, he's a crazy man. He's an animal. Oh well. Well, we are at the Comedy Cellar for a few more nights. We have the weekend now. It's Friday right now. We have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 more shows. I'm excited. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm here a lot, and so sometimes it's like overwhelming to do 14 shows a week.
Yeah.
But it's also amazing.
I love it here. I love the
It's
reps.
also amazing.
I love writing new jokes and trying them out. So fun. So what do you have next? Where can people find you? Where can people see you? Do you have any shows you want to plug?
I'll plug, GabrielRutledge.com has my full schedule. I'm on all the social media places. I also have a podcast that it's just me in the car.
I love that.
It's called The Drive Home with Gabriel Rutledge.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's just like me driving home from the airport or a gig, talking to myself. So no guests or anything.
That's so cool.
No video.
Oh, it's not video, it's just audio? That's great.
So you can check that out too. But yeah, and
you ever stop at a drive-thru on the pod?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, I love that.
I have.
That's great. I love food. I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually, I was talking about Dutch Brothers coffee.
Ooh, my wife loves that caramel one.
It's pretty good. And I was saying that people who work there are always fun surfer dudes who are like, oh, we're having a great day, bro.
Yeah.
And then I pull into the Dutch Brothers drive-thru and I'm like, let's see if I'm right. And he's like, hey, man. He's like, sunny day, pretty rad, huh, bro? And I was like, I nailed it. It was exactly what I said was going to happen.
I don't. Hi. Oh, hi there. I don't like how they always try to have a conversation with you.
It's a lot.
Yo, thanks,
Hey,
guys.
thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, good.
They were at the show last night, and we're gonna recognize that. This is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk you back. Are you going back to your building?
I'm going to go stand in front of my headshot and see if anyone else recognizes me.
That's beautiful. Okay, so that's awesome. Yeah, Dutch Brothers, they talk to you a lot. Like
Yep.
and I'm like, I'm a New Yorker. I just want to keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's kind of fun. I think that customer service is a nice touch. I do. But did you really want to go back to the cellar?
No, I'm good.
Oh, all right. All right, make sure to follow Gabe on Instagram. Follow him on his website in real life. You just tail behind him when he's doing his podcast in his car. And don't forget, happiness. Oh, sorry, the book.
Happiness isn't funny.
Happiness isn't funny. And then it's like stories on the road.
True stories of a road
True
comic.
stories of
Yeah.
a road comic. Get that book. Part 2's coming out. Couple years?
Couple months, hopefully.
Couple months, hopefully. All right, Gabe, we did it. Talkie
Yay.
Walkie.